Spider-Man No Way Home is a fantastic Marvel movie. It's a fantastic superhero movie. It is among the best that they've ever produced, and it contains some truly, truly great performances, some really emotional heft here. At the heart of it all is the question of identity and what is the identity of Spider-Man. It kicks off right where Spider-Man Far From Home ended, and with Mysterio giving everybody Peter's true identity of that he's actually Spider-Man. For the rest of this review, that's it for spoilers. Anything that's in the trailers is fair game, but there's not a lot that was shown in the trailers that you'll be spoiled for in the movie. So we've got the villains from Spider-Man's past coming back in Doc Ock, Electro, Green Goblin to highlight. And they're played very well by Jamie Foxx, Alfred Molina, and Willem Dafoe, with all three of them giving really great sort of turn back the clock performances here. Jamie Foxx really, in particular, has some of the best lines in the movie. He has some of the most funny lines in the movie, and especially for a villain, that's pretty interesting. Willem Dafoe gives an absolute masterclass here on how to portray a villain, and a sympathetic one at that, with just simple facial expressions and body changes. Without even saying anything, you can see sort of his motivations and how they change throughout the scenes that he's in. And then, of course, Alfred Molina is played off a bit like comic relief in some of the trailers, but he does have a pretty good arc here. Of course, this is Tom Holland's Peter Parker's story, and he handles the entire weight of probably the most anticipated movie of the year of recent memory since, I don't know, Avengers Endgame. And that movie, you had a lot more performances in it to sort of prop up the weight of it. Here, a lot of that weight, most of it falls on Tom Holland's shoulders, and he handles it absolutely amazingly here. He cements himself as one of the best superhero actors, one of the best Peter Parkers out there of the three that we've had. And he, or at least in live action, he is absolutely fantastic. The movie also stars Zendaya and Jacob Batalon and Marissa Tomei and Jon Favreau in their roles from the past here. And it has a lot of those small sort of throwbacks to previous Spider-Man movies, and it also has throwbacks to the MCU trilogy that we have now. And it really comes full circle and gives you a perfect sort of trilogy to watch here with the story that it tells. The script would normally probably be a little bit on the lackluster side just because of what you have to sort of contain in this entire movie, but Chris McKenna and Eric Summers, the screenwriters, did a absolutely smash job here with sort of giving everybody their due, giving everybody their scenes, keeping it emotional and weighted without bogging down into, you know, other Spider-Man 3 territory where you're just kind of ham-fisting in villains to just sort of meet a quota. Here, all of them have their places and all of them have their scenes to shine. And the culmination is the third act of this film. It's heart-pumping, it's fist-pump-inducing, it's people will cheer, people will clap, they'll hoot and they'll holler. It is a true joy to watch the third act of this movie. It's just so special for somebody who's been watching since you know, the MCU started and all of the superhero movies that we've gotten. It is a true joy to behold. It is a spectacle in every sense of the word. So if you thought Avengers Endgame was big, this movie isn't as big necessarily with all the names, but the emotional moments and the moments of the third act of this movie rival Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, everything that's come before it. This movie sets a new bar for what a third act of a superhero movie can tell with how spectacular it is. Outside of that spectacle, there are also smaller moments that are great between the characters. You have a lot more development between Peter and MJ here in the movie, and Zendaya gets actually her chance to shine as more than just Peter's girlfriend and the damsel in distress. If you're going into this movie and you are expecting the world, you get the world and then some. The trailers don't do it justice with just how special this movie is. Not to spoil anything because this is a spoiler-free review, the film really knocks it out of the park with everything that you would be expecting out of it. it's one of the best superhero movies out there, and it's astounding how this movie has been made, and made so well, to sort of connect the past, the present, and the future of the MCU all into one sort of. This is the culmination event, and then it's going to keep going forward from here. But this is sort of a true culmination of everything that we've had before it. The film is really long. It is 2.5 hours long. The third act does stretch out because of the fact that it is so massive in weight and tone that some of the stuff before it sort of gets a little bit lost in the shuffle, but it's not enough to where, you know, you feel like, oh, people are just being wasted here. Everything happens sort of for a reason in the movie, and everything gets its own due and gets tied up pretty well in the end of the film. Being it is a Marvel movie, there are some post-credit scenes that give you a little more look into the future. Both of them stick around. One's right after where they introduce, you know, the director and the cast and everything, and then the ones after the credits roll fully. You want to stick around for both of them. They're both fantastic. No spoilers here for those. Go see it for yourself. But when it comes all down to it, Spider-Man No Way Home was a hugely anticipated film. It is a huge, hyped-up beast of a movie at this point. The delay, I think, only did it more to hype up the movie in people's minds. This is supposed to be the savior of the 2021 box office. It's going to probably set records for this week in history at the box office. The film meets those expectations and then some, with fantastic emotional performances. The film is really, really emotional, and it's really just a culmination of everything that we've had with Peter Parker in the MCU from here going forward to the past, everything. It is among the best that Marvel has ever made, and that goes up to the, you know, the tippy top with the Iron Man and Thor Ragnarok and Shang-Chi and Captain America the Winter Soldier. All of those films are great. This film sort of combines that Avengers feel with the sequel, the good sequel feel of a Marvel movie, and puts them together. It is one of the best films you can watch this year if you're a fan of superheroes and comic books. Check it out on December 17th, this Friday. Make sure not to spoil anybody. And remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man No Way Home is an absolute fantastic film. It gets a 9.5 out of 10 from me. Some of the second act sort of gets condensed a little bit, and that's the only real problem with the film. But looking past that, this is an absolutely fantastic spectacle of a movie. It is a true blockbuster, and it's one that you need to check out in theaters to see for yourself. That is it from me to you for now. If you want more Marvel content or movie reviews or game reviews or anything like that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and do all of that YouTube stuff. Follow me on Instagram at HunterBoldingVideo. Check out the written review in the description or at thathashtagshow.com. And if you want this awesome Spider-Man t-shirt, you can go buy it from thathashtagshow.com. I will see you later. Thanks for watching, and make sure to go watch Spider-Man for yourself. And I'll see you later.